Audio Jungle.
Observer journalist Alisa Simmit passes. Jamaica Observer senior reporter Alisa Simmit died on Tuesday, plunging the journalism fraternity into shock and mourning. Simmit had fallen ill in February and was hospitalized. She was subsequently discharged and scheduled to undergo surgery. She, however, passed late Monday night after the operation. Simmit joined the Observer on August 29, 2022, after a long sojourn at the state news agency Jamaica Information Service JIS, where she covered Parliament. Her tenure at the Observer saw her continuing parliamentary coverage as well as other beats for the newspaper. Alisa gave a solid coverage of the House of Representatives and the Senate, and at all times when she ventured into feature and writing, I saw that she was enjoying her craft. Observer Executive Editor, Publications, Renan Davidson noted. I was hoping she would have pulled through the surgery and would get back to being the loving, caring mother to her son, he added. She was generally very quiet, but was obviously a fun-loving person with an easy smile. I remember well how she stunned many of us in the editorial department by winning a dance contest at one of our Christmas dinners. We will miss her and we extend our condolences to her family and friends, Davidson added. Simmit's longtime friend and fellow senior reporter, Alisa Dunkley-Willis, who also worked at GIS, said she had always known her as a quiet and reserved person, but a fun-loving and pleasant one as any other. I'd visualized her returning to work and had actually mused on the welcoming back gift. She was easy to talk to, and we would always laugh about various things or discuss our children. She wasn't one to complain. She was the type who would keep trying until her efforts bore fruit, Dunkley Willis noted. Senior Associate Editor Pete Sange said he was saddened by her passing. I was praying that she would hold on. I followed her work during her time at the GIS and was happy when she joined the team at Observer. She will be missed. Sleep well, Alisa, he noted. Sports content manager Andrew Lowe said that for the relatively brief time that he knew and worked alongside Alisa, she always presented herself as a quiet professional and sweet-mannered lady who went about her days without making fuss. She always greeted me with a smile, and our interactions were always pleasant. She clearly enjoyed her work and, from a distance, appeared to take real pride in the execution of her duties as a parliamentary reporter. I will miss her smile and quiet presence, and I pray that her family will find peace and comfort in this really difficult moment, Lowe stated. Meanwhile, JIS in a release news also expressed sadness at Smith's passing. Noting that she was a past student of Herbert Morrison High School, the news agency said Simmit entered journalism after attaining a bachelor's degree in media and communications major and a minor in psychology from the University of the West Indies in 2007. She joined the JIS editorial department in 2008 and honed her skill over 14 years as a reporter, prizing the nation of the government's work through coverage of Parliament and the Office of the Prime Minister. She specialized in writing features, producing human interest pieces about the impact of government programs and projects on people. Alisa was a valuable member of the GIS, and her departure from the private media in 2022 left a void in the reporting team, the agency noted. She took with her the high standards of quality news writing, which were reflected in the many stories she authored. Her close friend and colleague Chris Patterson said, I met Al when I joined JIS in 2008, and we developed a close and unbreakable bond of friendship over the years. I respected her skills as a prolific writer and a journalist of high integrity. I valued her friendship and cherished her honesty and genuineness dearly. There are no words to express the depth of sorrow, Patterson noted. Deputy Chief Executive Officer Celia Lindsay remembered Simmit as an excellent news writer who was committed to getting the job done at a high standard always. Alisa's passing is a tremendous loss. We are deeply saddened, she shared. The legacy of Simmit's work is recorded in the archive of stories she crafted on various topics. She has captured the history of nation, documented the voice of authorities and beneficiaries, and has left material for students, researchers, and the future generation to consume. The JIS expresses condolence to Alisa's family, particularly her son, friends, colleague at the Jamaica Observer, and the wider journalistic fraternity. 100 people killed on the nation's roads up to April 5th. 100 people were killed on the nation's roads up to April 5th. That's according to data from the National Road Safety Council (NRSC). Vice Chairman of the NRSC, Dr. Lucian Jones, said since 2019, this is the first year that road deaths have hit the 100 mark later than March. However, he said while this is good news, more work is needed. Dr. Jones is concerned that with the current trajectory of the country may exceed last year's road death toll. He said a meeting is to be held next week with Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness, who is chairman of NRSC, regarding measures to further reduce road deaths is timely.
100 fatalities. It's time for deep reflection and concern. Time to pivot and align ourselves with the safe systems. Align ourselves more firmly with the safe systems approach recommended by the World Health Organization. And the number one priority in that approach is safe speeds. Over the last 7 years, this is the latest in the year that we have hit 100 road fatalities. It means that we are moving in the right direction. And his recommendation that we need to push this later into the year is a timely one. The challenge, though, is that last year we had the same pattern and slowed down. But there's no guarantee that we're going to slow down unless we take decisive action. And based on the current trajectory, we may exceed last year's number because we are now having one death a day, over one death a day so far, and 35 deaths in the last 30 days. So we need to put in place measures to get people to slow down and live and let others live. 100 road deaths is a time for serious national consideration. The call by the Prime Minister, who's the chairman of the National Road Safety Council, for a meeting next Thursday comes at the right time because we have to find a way to get drivers to slow down. We have to get rid of this notion that it's just a set of people out there killing off themselves. No, the drivers are killing themselves, yes, but they're also killing pedestrians and passengers, and they're our brothers and sisters who are dying. And we have to care that people are dying anywhere in these large numbers.
Police probing suspected hit and run along Spanish Town bypass. Investigators assigned to the St. Catherine North Police Division are probing the circumstances surrounding an alleged hit and run that claimed the life of an unidentified man whose body was found on the Spanish Town bypass on Sunday. The body is about 5 feet 8 inches long and appears to be in its 50s. It was clad in a multicolored shirt, blue jeans, and a grey knapsack. Reports from the Spanish Town police are that about 10:40 p.m., residents observed a body lying on the roadway and alerted them. Upon arrival, the body was seen with several injuries. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue for postmortem. The police are appealing to anyone with information to come forward. Investigations continue. Maria Dean's cell floor was wet with blood-like substance coming from drain pipe when investigators arrived. Detectives Constable Ricardo Evans, the police forensic investigator currently testifying in the Maria Dean trial, told the Westmoreland Circuit Court that the floor of the cell where Dean was beaten on August 3, 2014, was wet when he arrived there to carry out his investigation. Evans, who is the third police witness in the trial of Corporal Elaine Stewart and constables Juliana Cleveland and Marlon Grant, also testified that prior to entering the cell block at the Barnett Street Police Station in St. James, where Dean was in custody for possession of a ganja spliff, he saw a blood-like substance coming from the drainage pipe attached to the cell block. Evans told the court that he saw 3 drain pipes in the vicinity of the cell block. He admitted that he could not say which of the pipes was connected to the cell where Dean was beaten. The 3 police officers are currently on trial for manslaughter and misconduct of public office in relation to Dean's death. Stewart is also charged with perverting the course of justice on the allegations that she ordered the cell where Dean was beaten to be cleaned before the arrival of Independent Commission of Investigations representatives. Meanwhile, the witness also testified that after he collected swab samples of blood spatter in the vicinity of the cell and photographed the scene, he was given 3 plastic bags with items of clothing belonging to inmates Marvin Orr, Adrian Morgan, and Damien Cargill. Orr, Morgan, and Cargill were previously tried with murder in relation to Dean's death, but they were eventually deemed unfit to stand trial due to being deaf-mute and mentally challenged. to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.